Ever start a long process in Access and then realize halfway through that you need to stop it, like right now? Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I am your instructor, Richard Rost. Today we're going to talk about how to cancel a long-running process using the escape key on your keyboard. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to let users abort a loop without having to click buttons or shut down Access. Today's question comes from Elliott in Glendale, California, one of my Platinum members. Elliott says, how can I stop one of my long processes with the keyboard? I watched your video about using a checkbox to cancel it, but it feels clunky, and most of my users are older and prefer the keyboard. Yeah, me too. Is there a way to just press the escape key to cancel something while it's running instead of clicking a button? Sure, there's a couple ways we can do this, Elliott. Let's take a look. Before we get started, some prerequisites. This is a developer level video, so if you've never done any programming before, go watch my Intro to VBA video. It's about 20 minutes long. It'll teach you everything you need to know to get started. And so go watch this first. Watch this video on the default button. That's how you can make a button on your form that when you press enter, it clicks that button. Well, there's also a cancel button. You can hit escape and it'll push that button. So that's the first thing we're going to try. Go watch this video on that. Now go watch this video. This is the one that Elliott's talking about. In this video, we simulate a loop. Like you got something going on, you click start, it's going to be doing a long batch of sending, 10,000 emails or whatever it's doing it, right? And now you realize, uh-oh, I need to stop it. And if you don't program a way in to stop it, you're going to have to just kill Access when we don't want to have to do that. So we build in an abort box. And this is what he's saying is clicking on this little checkbox here. Okay, it can be a little clunky. So we're going to use escape on the keyboard instead. But go watch this video so you understand the project. Go watch this video on the sleep function. This is how we're going to pretend that the loop is actually doing something that takes a while by putting a small sleep in there, right? Sleep for a second. That'll simulate a long process. And finally, go watch this video on the key down event. That's where you can watch the keyboard and say, oh, the user pressed whatever, F3 or escape, right? And grab it at the keyboard level. Okay, these are all free videos. They're on my YouTube channel. They're on my website. Go watch those and then come on back. All right, so we have this database, the abort loop database. It's right here in the members section. I'm going to download it since I'm a member on my own website. That's one of the perks of owning the website, right? I get to be my own member. If you're not a gold member, then you'll have to rebuild this database following along with the video. So either upgrade today or you can rebuild this video. So I'm going to download it now. And here it is. It's an older version of the Tech Help free template. It's got this little start button here. And let's go and take a look at the start button. Now we got a hidden abort box that shows up when we click the start button. Let's go to build event here and see what we got. All right, here's our loop right here. We go from 1 to 100,000. And I didn't put a sleep delay in here, or I removed it somehow. So let's throw a little sleep delay in here. And I'm going to get rid of this if x mod 1000. I'm just going to status x. We're going to get rid of this. All right, so every time it loops, we're going to status the counter, and then we're going to sleep for a second, right? 1,000 is a full second there. That's 1,000 milliseconds. All right, so what's going to happen is it's going to loop, it's going to status, it's going to sleep, and then it's going to look for abort. Now, inside of status, this is important. Inside of my status function, there is a DoEvents. DoEvents is very important. If you don't have DoEvents inside your loop, then Access will never give up control to the keyboard. Basically, it says, okay, other processes, anybody else got anything else going on? All right, we'll listen to you now. If there's no DoEvents in the loop anywhere, then it'll stick. It'll look like it's frozen. All right? All right, so make sure you got my status function in here or you got DoEvents manually in here somewhere. So let's give it a try. Let's give it a test real quick. Debug, compile once in a while. Let's save it, close it, open it, run it, and here we go. Okay, looks good. Looks good. It's doing its thing. It's counting, right? Let's hit abort. There we go. Are you sure you want to abort? I'll say yes. Okay, it aborted. All right, so that's working just fine. Now, Elliott says he doesn't want his users to have to click that button. Just hit the escape key. All right, no problem. What we can do is we can put an emergency cancel button on here somewhere. So I'll just copy this start button, copy paste, Control C, Control V. I'll put it up here. We'll call this cancel. All right. Now over here, let's give it a good name. I'll call this my cancel button BTN. And on the other tab, find cancel and set that to yes. What that does is it binds that button to the escape key. So when you hit escape on the keyboard, it pushes that button. Oops, someone's beaming in. All right. So when this button is pushed, what we'll do is we'll say, hey, when someone clicks on this button, push that guy. Right? So the end result is going to be you hit escape on the keyboard, it pushes the button pushes the checkbox. So in the cancel button, build event, we're going to say abort equals true. That's that checkbox is named abort. Okay, debug compile, close it down, close it, open it, and you can hide this guy too, just like we hid the abort button or the abort box. There's code in there that changes the visible property. That's easy to do. Ready? All right. Start, let it run its thing. I'm going to move my mouse over here. And, I got to cancel this batch. I'm going to hit escape on my keyboard. And there you go. See, it takes a second because it's got to wait for that second loop. You could put a quicker, if you want it faster, you could put a quicker, like a shorter timer in there. You sure you want to abort? Yes. You could do where is it at? Instead of sleeping a whole second here, you could do like a 1 to 10 loop and then sleep for 100 milliseconds, which is a tenth of a second, and then check for abort inside of that. It all depends on how granular you want it to be, on how quickly you want that to react. If you don't mind waiting that second, then leave it just as it is right now. For me, this is usually when it's like, I'm sending out like my batches of emails. I do like my holiday special at the end of the year and stuff. And I queue up like 50,000 emails and I hit go, and then I'm watching them go out and I'm like, oh crap, there's a typo. So I got to cancel it. I hit my abort button. So I don't mind waiting that second. But if you want it to be faster, if you're like, you got like a nuclear meltdown happening or something. All right, so that's one way to do it. But what if you don't want a button? All right, we can do it without a button. What we could do is we can just watch the keyboard directly instead of using a cancel button. So let's try this. Come in here. I'm going to delete the button. Goodbye. And when you delete a button, you should get rid of its code. Here, I'm going to undo that and go back in here. Right click. You should get rid of its code. One of you guys recently taught me that if there's an empty sub in here, when you debug compile, it gets rid of those empty subs. That was cool. That blew my mind because that didn't used to exist, but now it exists. But you should still come in here and delete any subs you got from buttons or other objects that you're getting rid of. It's just good housekeeping. And I forget to do it myself. I've got all kinds of objects in my database that are just floating around. All right, so we're going to use the key down event, or you can use key up, either one. And instead of having a button here that's tied to the escape key, we're just going to look for that key press event, or not key press, key down. The two different ones, remember? All right. I suppose you probably could use key press, but key down is definitely the better one for that. Anytime you're looking for like a key, like a function key, or someone hit like escape, like in this case, use key down or key up. So remember, when we use key down, the first thing we have to do is go to the forms events and turn on key preview way down here on the bottom. Set that to yes. This is so the form events get to watch what's pressed on the keyboard. If not, those events go directly to the controls, and you might not be sitting on the right control. Okay, so now the form has overview of the keys. So now we'll go to the forms key down event right there. Key down. Go right in here. Okay. And in here, we're going to say if key code equals its VB key escape. That's the constant for it. I taught you in the other video, you could just, message box what the key is if you can't remember what it is. I don't remember what it is myself, but I remember it's VB key escape. So if the escape key is pressed, if the key down event sees the escape key, what are we going to do? Well, first we're going to set abort equals true. Then we got to swallow the key, right? So that's key code equals 0, right? Swallow the key press or key down, the key, whatever, the key. All right, so that just nullifies the escape. And if you want, you could say status, escape pressed, abort requested. Because at this point, it's still got to go back to the previous function and exit out of the loop. Okay? So see what's going to happen now? The user's going to press escape, and instead of it triggering a button, we're going to look for it in the key down event. All right, save it, debug, compile once in a while. Get your mouse pad that has that on that. Okay, here we go. Ready? And click. And I'm going to press escape. And there you go. Abort requested. See? All done. So now there's two ways you have of hitting the escape key and stopping something on a form. And these both, they work great. These are good techniques. I've used them for years. But all that coding is bound to this form. What if you want something that works system-wide throughout all of Access? So anytime in any of your loops, you could just say, if the escape key's been pressed, exit it. You don't have to set the key preview. You don't have to worry about, putting code in the form. You don't got to program a key press or key down or key up event. Can you do that? Well, yes, you can. And we will cover that in the extended cut for the members. I'm going to show you how you can make a simple function that you could put in any loop, anywhere in your database, in any form, in your global modules, doesn't matter. If the system sees the escape key pressed, even if you're not on a form, it'll still issue that abort. And I'll show you how to do that in the extended cut for the members. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut videos, not just this one, all of them. There's hundreds of them. And gold members can download these databases like I just did myself. And you get the code vault. Most of this code from the tech help videos and even a lot of stuff from my regular courses is in the code vault. So you go to my website, you do a search for, key press event, and you'll see all the code for that. All right, you go to my website. What are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for the sleep function. You hit search on my website. The search page will bring you to all the videos and stuff that it's covered in. And down here, there's the code vault. All right, you see all the stuff in the code vault for it. All right, so click that blue button and join today. If you like learning with me, come check out my developer lessons. I've got 52 of them. I'm working on 53 right now. And I teach you start to finish how to be a cool Access developer. You can come sit at the lunch table with the cool kids. All right, check them out. There's the link. So the big takeaway today is that you don't have to rely on buttons to stop a long-running loop or a checkbox. You can let users cancel it instantly from the keyboard using the escape key, which makes your databases feel a lot more responsive and user-friendly. I know I'm a keyboard guy myself. Whenever I see something going wrong, my first motion isn't to the mouse, it's to the keyboard. I want to hit that escape key. All right, so post your comment down below. Let me know how you liked today's video and if you plan on using this in your database. That's going to be your tech help video for today, brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. And members, I'll see you in the extended cut. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button right now and give me a like. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. And make sure you click that bell icon and select all to receive notifications whenever I post a new video. Do you need help with your Microsoft Access project? Whether you need a tutor, a consultant, or a developer to build something for you, check out my Access Developer Network. It's a directory I put together personally of Access experts who can help with your project. Visit my website to learn more. Any links or other resources that I mentioned in the video can be found in the description text below the video. Just click on that Show More link right there. YouTube's pretty good about hiding that, but it's there. Just look for it. Now, if you have not yet tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, tables, all that stuff. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or my YouTube channel. I'll include a link below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? And if you like Level 1, Level 2 is just $1. That's it. And it's free for members of my YouTube channel at any level. Speaking of memberships, if you're interested in joining my channel, you get all kinds of awesome perks. Silver members get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, and there's hundreds of them by now. They also get one free beginner class each month, and yes, those are from my full courses. Gold members get the previous perks plus access to download all of the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos. Plus, you get access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions and all kinds of source code that I use. And gold members get one free expert class every month after completing the beginner series. Platinum members get all of the previous perks, plus they get all of my beginner courses, all of them from every subject. And you get one free advanced or developer class every month after finishing the expert series. And you can become a Diamond sponsor and have your name listed on the sponsor page on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time.